specialize in music most people hate. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check out our Facebook page, Instagram, and our website. Let us share the noise with you.
Yo, this is John from Dosage Media, and this episode is brought to you by Begrudgingly Benny. Interested in putting something horrific and grotesque on your next piece of merch? Benny is tucked away in the fiery depths of COVID quarantine, blasting the filthiest of old school death metal and drawing hideous creatures that he is waiting for you to adopt. Go over to Instagram and follow @BegrudginglyBenny and contact him if you would like some really weird original art for your band or label. Super professional, highly recommended. Right on, this is John from Dosage Media, and we got Ardek from Carach Angren. I got a few questions for him, and I'm super stoked to fire him off.
Hi, guys. Hello.
Heck yeah. So my first question to you would be, being that Carach Angren is based out of the Netherlands, how has this made it difficult when touring to the United States?
Well, the first years we were not really able to come, but it was when we got a good booking agency and management in place that we were able to make the step. And then when you have these supporting teams, and you work together, then it's rather easy to do that. There's of course working visas and all of that to get that in place, but we've always been fortunate to have that stuff taken care of very easily. Yeah.
Right on. I actually saw you guys. I don't think I really talked to you, but I definitely talked to Sir Gore it was in Rochester. I forgot.
All right.
I forgot the venue, but I think it was with Children of Bodom.
Yes, that could be. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was that show. Was that a year ago or a year and a half, I think?
3 years already in
oh,
November.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Dang.
Yeah.
Jeez. Wow, that makes me feel old. But yeah, that was a killer freaking show, man. You guys killed it.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, it was great too.
I think the coolest thing about you when I saw you is you have that piano prop. Doesn't it go up and down and side by side and stuff?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Is that hydraulics or?
No, it's electrical motors, but usually that machine is used in very precise applications in factories. But
okay.
So there it was used in not so precise swinging.
Did you come up with that idea and have it done in the Netherlands or?
Well, it was. I always had this idea to have it moving up and down, but then my brother is now out of the band, but he was still in the band back then, and he also was active. He has a job in a technical job. He works in a factory as a supporting engineer, and so he worked with these machines. And then one day he brought one home. And he said, look what we can do. So that was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one thing that makes your show more interesting. You guys have the cool props and all that stuff.
Yeah, we try to do it, yes.
So, what, off the topic of touring to the United States, what, drives you to want to do that instead of just sticking around where you're at and playing shows?
Well, I mean, there's nothing as great as, playing your music live for people who are really into it. And it's like an experience. So, yeah, I mean, I always say you stop thinking, and that's already a good thing when you play live. And so, yeah, it has a kind of quality with that keeps me drawing, keeps us drawing back to it. And of course, I mean, making and recording albums is equally great, but it's a different thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's different feeling. I feel the one thing that I've been told a lot is when you go overseas and you see a whole different crowd, a big crowd of people that support you. Mm-hmm. It's a different feeling than being So being from the United States and then going to Mexico, for example, and then seeing just a huge freaking crowd of people that have the shirts and everything, it's
Yes.
just it makes you want to do different shit. You know what I mean? Take the risk. Go for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It has two sides. I mean, it's unreal. And but you also have to stay humble, because I remember clearly when we played a show in Mexico, and it was like, I don't know how many people, it was completely crazy. And we were afterwards going to, give some autographs and meet some people, but it went so bad that the security had to drag us out because people were pulling our hair and stuff like that.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
but then 2 days later, I was sitting, in my car here, and then there was nothing, of course, of that. And then, so the contrast is like super extreme. So I can
Yeah.
only imagine, like superstars, how they feel, because there's also an unreal quality to all of that. It's like in that moment
Right.
you are something else. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I could feel if I was like freaking, I don't know, Elvis Presley or something fucking crazy. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like I'd be like bothered by it, but at the same time, like flattered. You know what I mean? But,
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing.
Um.
Yeah.
So here's a cool question for you. Like, what are some things that you've noticed on the social media that has been misinterpreted about your band?
That's a cool question. Never asked before.
Yep.
Well, first of all, sometimes I see things that people make up, but
Mm-hmm.
they're actually accurate. So sometimes they say like, "Oh, this is probably not true," but then I see it and I'm like, "Okay, that's actually true." And then
Uh-huh.
sometimes there is, it's a difficult question um, to think of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be like a right off the bat thing.
yeah, yeah. Like but one thing that was true, like I recently saw on a fan page, they made a drawing. Someone made a drawing of Seragor,
Uh-huh.
like drinking a whole bottle of honey, like on the show. But they said like because they read somewhere that he was using honey for his throat.
Uh-huh.
But they said like this is an exaggeration. Probably doesn't do it like that, but he actually does it because he puts the bottle to his mouth and he just squeezes it as hard as he can and he absorbs all the honey. Like he has never eaten anything. So
Well,
that was like super funny for me to see.
I definitely think when it comes down to black metal,
Yeah,
if you're screaming highs for freaking 45 minutes,
yeah,
you're going to feel it. Like if you're doing just lows, I feel like you can get away with like an iced tea, but doing highs every
yeah,
day on tour,
yeah. I don't know
I
how he
don't know.
does it, but it's a gift.
Right.
And honey, and honey.
And honey.
Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome. I'll have to give some tips to my friends. Honey.
yeah, yeah. He took it literally.
That's awesome. So, what would you describe like the writing process for Carach Angren? Like just you and Sergor.
Yeah, yeah. Usually, I start with the main compositions, and yeah, I always need this connection to the story. For example, with Frankenstein, I was like, I need an original angle. And once, so first there was a lot of research, reading, visiting places, and then when I found out about Johann Conrad Dippel, I was excited. I was like, this is the story behind the story. So this is something. And
Yep.
then I get this personal connection and inspiration, and then the writing becomes like it's like an organic thing. And I really personally I need that, and I think we both need that to get going. Yeah.
Right. So what you're saying is like he shoots you a concept for lyrics and then you kind of go off of that.
Yeah, or I come up with something, or with every CD, it's usually one of us who has an idea, and then the other one sort of follows, or and then so that's how it goes. For example, with "This Is No Fairy Tale," this was something that Sergor was completely into, and he just told me like, "Let me do it. I know what I'm doing," and he was
Right
like
on.
completely absorbed by it. Yeah, yeah,
I got that vinyl signed by you guys at the show.
that's
It's
cool. That's
awesome. I
cool.
still have it. Um So when you talk about the writing process, do you guys like sit in the room together and hash out riffs and all that, or do you use like Guitar Pro?
Well, usually I work on the computer. It's boring, and the piano. And then when I have a song done, the final structure, I send it over to Seragor, and then
Yeah.
sometimes he makes like these very melodic guitar lines over it, or he improves the riffs and sends it back. And then sometimes I change things around. And for this album, we worked more together in the same room. Like he came over earlier when there were no lyrics, and we were just like sitting and listening, and then like said, "Just scream monster, do it. Okay, let's record it." And then that's just temporary or whatever. And then in the end, it was like, okay, it was not so temporary, but that was cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. That I feel like sometimes that if you sit on something for too long, then it becomes a bigger thing. Like
Yeah.
you just gotta go for it, and then once you catch the inspiration,
Yeah,
it's all
definitely.
there.
Definitely, yeah. You need those precious moments, and you cannot force it. That's for sure.
So is there anything like from the beginning of working with him versus now that you've changed over the years? Like technically, or like, how do I put this? The way that you guys do things, is it the same way since day one, or have you changed?
Some things change. I mean, when we started in the very beginning, we were still rehearsing like a real band,
Mm-hmm.
and that has become less because you do more touring, so it's very intense. And but when it comes to writing, not much has changed. Like I record some things, send it over to him. He comes up with some lyrics, stuff like that. Yeah, so it's pretty much the same, but we take more time now because after several albums, it gets a little bit more challenging because when you were young, it sounds like I'm very old, but when you were like 20 and you go to the studio for the first time, it's like,
Fresh.
yeah,
Fresh.
yeah,
You
we
can't
made it.
redo
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this mixer, or look at this speaker. And now it's more like, another
It's
day
like,
at the
oh my
office.
God, we got a song done.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that's the objective.
Whoa, a drum kit. Yeah.
Play it, record it,
Yeah.
we're done.
Yeah, exactly. Give me all the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to, Season of Mist,
Hmm.
what are some things you could like talk highly about that label? Like, give me some things that the normal person wouldn't know that you love about being on their roster.
Well, for example, for this album, they really pushed the promotion to a next level. You have great people working there on the promotion team, who work very, very close with us. And Jessica, Letitia, we are daily in contact about promotional matters, and that's a real commitment they make.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that shows. Yes.
I think half the battle with being in a band, well, I learned, like, if you don't promote your shit, nobody's going to listen to it. Like, you have to be all over. I mean, you can't spam people, but you have to learn different avenues of where to take it.
Yes. And
especially starting out.
Yeah. And it's a challenge. I mean, you can also easily overdo it because right now everyone is screaming on social media, look at me. So it can also be too much. And for me, it's always a balance. Like part of me doesn't like it at all, but you have to do it,
Right.
But,
right. So what else have they done other than like promotion? What do you say?
Well, of course, they invest in the band every time with a new album. And they make bigger steps, but there's also management, booking agencies, everyone. There's a whole team around the band. But, for example, with this album, I chose a producer who is not really a name that people easily think of when it comes to extreme metal. It's Robert Carranza. I really like the guy, how he mixes. But I said, look, I want to go with this guy. and then you get some questions like, "Are you sure?" It's not really. There are like other producers in metal, and I'm like, "No, I want to do it." And then people give you that trust, and they
Right.
invest. They give you X amount of money to record and all of that. So that's something that I never take for granted. Yes.
Right on. So does Katy work with you a lot? The one that
Yes,
I've been.
Katy also very,
Katy's
very,
awesome.
yeah, awesome promotion in the US, really awesome.
So shout out to Katy.
Shout out to
Um,
Katy.
So where do you find peace when you go on tour? It's very stressful, I'm assuming. So like,
Well, I have it easy because I'm the guy that doesn't drink. so
oh,
so I'm like the conservative that goes to bed early, and then I'm the first one to wake up. So I'm sitting there with my coffee, and everyone is like sleeping with alcohol in their blood, and I have the
you're the
peaceful.
dad on the ship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the yeah. I did my partying some years ago, and now I'm the dad. Yeah.
It's only so much you can do.
Yes. Yes.
So when going on tour, what is like your mindset? Like, what are you trying to accomplish by the end of the day?
To get people, a great night, and to they pay for the ticket, they come to the show for an experience, they want it to be taken out of all the usual everyday life, and
Yeah, the
when
bullshit.
the bullshit, and
Yeah.
you can see it in their eyes, you can sense it in the energy on stage, and that's an accomplishment, and that's fulfilling, and then I get
Hell yeah.
fulfilled. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I'd say like the best feeling for me is just like playing the music I wrote in front of people. Like I don't know, it's just an unreal experience just to I don't know, without actually like talking, like
Yes.
showing what you mean. But
Yes, we need to shut up more, I think.
exactly,
Yeah.
just start
Yeah.
plucking some strings.
Exactly.
People will be more peaceful.
Hit something, yeah, whatever, yeah.
I think the funniest thing, like I've been told by people I know, is like, they always question, like they're like, "Why do you listen to that kind of music?" I'm like, "Well, it's kind of funny because like they basically say they're like those people are very pissed off at the world. They judge them, and I'm like, I gotta be honest with you, they're probably nicer than any person that you've ever fucking met because like they have a way to express themselves."
Exactly, yeah.
So
True. That's completely true, I think. Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. That's just something I've learned over the years, but
Yeah. Yeah.
so
You
got a
see it.
couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I got a couple small ones here. This is a debate I've always been going after. So, since you're a piano player, I'm
Mhm.
guessing, are you a big theory guy or no?
Not really, because in the end you can know all the theory in the world and still make crappy stuff.
Thank
So,
you. Okay, yeah. Because
yeah. Yeah.
my question was, would you say that like you have to be trained by some like a professional to be a successful musician? And
No.
yes, thank you.
No.
Because I used to know a little bit of theory and fucking I don't even use it, man.
Yeah. I have to say
Um,
this: there are, for example, especially in classical music, there are people who dedicate their whole life into playing the violin perfectly. They study but they are not necessarily people who are great writers. But that doesn't
yep.
matter. So, but we need people like that who are like, who merge with their instrument, so to speak. Because
Right.
I'm going to be honest, I don't play piano hours every day, absolutely not. But I
Right.
try to get a better composer every day. So, but when I need something really, really well played, I might go to someone who studies every day on their instrument. So there's a balance there. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Sweet answer. I'm gonna ask that fucking more because I want to have like a team that says fuck theory. Because so many musicians I've talked to, they're like, I don't know, man. You need to be
Yeah.
trained, man. I'm like, bullshit. So what's like the most rewarding part about dropping the latest album?
To get the feedback from the fans, and especially, of course, when they enjoy it. To be I'm going to be honest. I mean, when people don't like it, I mean, that's okay too. But it's nicer when they say, "Oh, this was amazing," or then when they understand what we sort of put into this, the energy that went into it, that it came out the right way. That's fulfilling. I mean, that's it. Yes.
Right. I just did a podcast with somebody, and he was talking about about how he had to overcome that battle because they put out an album and nobody liked it. And I was like, son of a bitch, man. That's got to be like the worst feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Like having to overcome something where everybody's like anti your band. But
yeah. But I'm going to be honest. There is a point. I mean, nowadays I enjoy more. I try to enjoy the writing process more because it's easy to just skip over it. Like, oh, you write, and then put it out. Because you know, it's true. Before the release date, we know like we like this, and then it's easy to go afterwards criticize yourself. But no, I mean, even if no one would like it, we would still probably like it. But it can be sort of an internal battle for sure. Yeah.
Well, I think it's even more internal when you got to tour for like a year and a half and play the same songs, you know?
Yes. You have to like it really much.
Yeah. So the last question to wrap it up here is, if you had to give any advice to new musicians, you know, starting bands, dropping their first EP, just getting ready to go touring, what would it be?
Don't look too much on social media because that's all, a lot of it is not real. So it's easy to get like, but I mean, I hear it all the time. People compare themselves like, oh, they had so much likes and they had such a big audience. No, just focus on the music, what you like to play, and what gets you excited. That's the main thing, and it will always be the main thing. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. Do you? That's the ending. Heck
Hell yeah.
Is there anything you want to promote at the end here? Like, I don't know. I mean, the new album. Other than that, is there anything else?
We're working on a new video, so hopefully we can present that in the coming months. And yeah, of course, check out the album.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you.
Is that going to be a music video or just...
Yes, music video, yeah.